Well, Cal, I would imagine a very happy man just to be out there on the pitch again.
Yeah, exactly that. Just to be, it's tough when you're in the physio room every day and you think I just give it to be able to jog on the grass, to be able to just touch a ball again. So yeah, to be back out there on training, it's something I definitely won't take for granted.
And on a match day, so last Saturday, is it nerves? Is it excitement? Does it feel exactly the same as it did, just having not done it for a couple of months?
Probably a little bit more excitement, just to be back. Like I'm fortunate enough. I've never really suffered from injuries or that. It breaks my heart for boys like young Eamon and stuff and Kane who've got longer term injuries, because me having the injury that I had, I know how difficult it was for me, and no one really sees that part. But yeah, I'm one of the more fortunate ones, but still it was the same feeling for me to have that took away from me, to look forward to playing this Saturday and have that took away. It was, look, it was tough, but yeah, you get back out there, have a game to look forward to again and be able to impact, help the boys. It was exciting.
And 3 points don't hurt either, do they?
No, exactly. Then that's the part that makes it all the more special when you start back with a win, and yeah, it just sets us on the right foot, getting back after this little break, so it was good.
We were just chatting with the manager. You sort of look back at the run you had earlier in the season where you were winning week in, week out, and you could name the team. It was a very settled side. Injuries, form, things like that have come and made it more difficult. Completely different back three for you on Saturday. How key is it to try and get back to knowing who you're going to be playing alongside, who's in front of you, who's behind you, and try and get back to the same kind of run of form you had?
Yeah, look, it does help. It definitely helps, but then that's why you have a squad. You have a squad of 20 odd players, and everyone's capable. As you see, the team that started the first game, we always say it through pre-season, but the team that starts the first game will never necessarily be the team that then just continues all season. That's why you always need to be ready. And you see boys coming in now, like I had Kingy next to me at centre half the other day, and he was outstanding, and he was outstanding against Watford, and that's just it. You need to be ready, and players like him who train well, don't sulk, are always good with the boys, good with the coaching staff. They're always ready for their opportunity, and then they come in and they make such a big impact. So we've got a lot of players that have done that this season, and that's just why you've got a squad. But yeah, if we can get that consistency and let the relationships build, then I think it will give us a better chance of going on a good run.
And certainly as somebody who's played as much football as he has, albeit mostly in a different position, but so comfortable on the ball, having two of you at the back in that sort of situation, it gives you different options as a team, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does. Look, Kingy's just got a mind for the game. Like if you sit and have a chat with him in here, you'll see how articulate he is and how intelligent he is when he speaks about the game. We do it every day at lunch. Me, him and Matty James will sit in Ackerville, Chris Martin. Kingy will just be speaking about football. That's what he does non-stop. So it's no surprise that he's dropped back and been able to see it all and read the game as well as he has, because he's just got a mind for the game. So yeah, as I say, I'm not surprised that he's done so well.
So you got this game at the weekend, then it's into the sort of the busy Christmas period, and looking at the squad getting back to pretty much full fitness, or as close as it's been for a long time. Do you feel that you're primed to go on the kind of run that can get you back where you were a couple of months ago?
Yes, look, we definitely are. We'll be in a good position. Obviously, the Rotherham results definitely helped that. Now we're going to Stoke, but nothing's really a given in this league, is it? It's difficult. We've just got to control what we can control, which is working hard in training, building a relationship and the bonds, being good teammates. And yeah, just working hard, controlling all the little things that you can control, and then in this league it's difficult. We'll go into the game 100% prepared, and fingers crossed, I think it will help us. We've got back-to-back home games as well. Hopefully the fans can get behind us, which I know they will. We've got to give them something to get behind, but I know they'll get behind us. And then let's see, winning becomes a habit, the same way losing does, the same way we had that bad spell there where nothing was kind of going away and you fall into a little bit of a lull and the confidence drops. And I've been there as a player, and it was so difficult for me to sit and watch the lads go through that difficult spell when I wasn't part of it, because I see them training, I see them doing everything right, I see them working hard. It's just you fall into that tiny little habit of just losing, just the mindset, it just changes a little bit and you get a bad rub of the green here and there. But look, we're still doing the same things, we're controlling what we can control. Hopefully we've come over that spell. I thought the boys were outstanding against Watford and then a really good performance against Rotherham, so hopefully we can kind of build that momentum now and then get into the habit of winning games consistent.
And then just finally for me, obviously with the injury and then with the international break for the World Cup, you haven't played Ashton Gate for a while, so I would imagine looking forward to getting back out there.
Yeah, it feels like forever. I don't actually know how long it is, but yeah, just looking forward to getting back. Ashton Gate, obviously, brilliant stadium in front of the fans, and yeah, a good surface, big pitch. The Rotherham pitch was tight at the weekend. It was difficult to play at times, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back out there. Obviously, my boys will be at the game, my family, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, just on that injury, how frustrating was it for you? Because it seemed to be a lot longer, the recovery, than initially expected.
It was it was difficult, and it was frustrating. I think when we first looked at it, it was meant to be I would be back in kind of 3-4 weeks. There was a tear there, and then just as I got going, just some people recover quicker than others, and I've never really had muscle injuries ever in my career. That's why I say I'm fortunate, but yeah, it was taking longer than expected, and just getting the confidence back in it, and it was extremely frustrating because in my mind and it was probably bad on my part, but I was setting targets. I was looking at the fixtures and I was saying, right, I'll definitely be available for that game. And then when I missed that game, it was so hard to take because I was like, oh, I keep setting these targets and I'm missing it and I'm missing it and I'm missing it. And it was hard to take, but I just had to realise and sit back and say, your body's your body, and it'll be ready when it is. And then the break helped me massively. So, and Dave put me on a training programme over that spell of the break, and I stuck to that. And yeah, I'm just grateful that I've kind of came through it now and can hopefully kick on.
And just on Saturday, I think you back in the team kind of showed what had been lacking over the last few weeks when you weren't there, and that's those progressive passes forward. Just want to know how much of an influence kind of Nigel's had on that part of your game since you joined the club.
He's been huge on it, to be fair. It's always part of my game. It's always been part of my game, and I'll kind of do that anywhere I go. But the thing that the gaffer's been brilliant with is letting me do that and letting me express myself, because I know a lot of managers, especially the way I started, if you look at the Sunderland giving away a goal, if you look at other games giving away a goal, other managers might have pulled me and said, listen, come on, play it forward a bit quicker, don't take as much chances. But never once has a gaffer done that. He's always put his arm around me and says, this is why we brought you here. We brought you here because you're going to take chances, you're going to get the team playing, and we want you to be exactly you and who you want to be. So in terms of that, for me, just knowing that I've got the backing for him, it's been huge for me, and it's kind of not allowed me to sulk over any of the mistakes that I've made, because it's like, no, pick yourself back up and go again. This is the manager's backing you, so if he can back you, then you need to go again. So he's been brilliant for me.
And just playing on the left of that back three, does that allow you to be a bit more expressive than when you are in the middle?
Yeah, I think you can take a bit more chance with less risk attached when you've got the two centre halves there, and especially that centre one protecting. My mind just wanders back to the Norwich game when I step in. As soon as I step in, it's hard for the other two centre halves to close. It does leave a big gap, and obviously I gave it away at Norwich to play it through that gap and Pookie's in. But yeah, that's what can happen when I just playing on the left. It's a little less risk attached, and also I'm higher up the pitch as well most of the time when I receive the ball. But yeah, I think it's key that you see Kingy's in there, that central position where he'll get on the ball and he'll create and he'll make passes, and anyone else that plays that position, whether it be Zach, Big Rob, anyone else, then they can get on the ball and also pass forward in advanced areas. But yeah, I think there's slightly less risk attached. Still a lot as I'm playing centre half, but maybe a little bit less.
Having not played as a number 10 in early on in your career, do you think that helps you with the confidence in being able to play those forward passes and be a bit more aggressive on the ball?
Yeah, it helps me massively when I kind of look at my career and I look at exactly how it's went to get to where it is. All them little things, that playing on the wing, then playing in the number 10 and even playing the 9, and I believe it's all got me to where I am now, how I see the game for centre half. I know the movements that Tommy's going to make or Naki wants to make, and I know the movements that a winger might make. I've played left back, I know where he doesn't want to defend, and so I feel like I've got a decent understanding of the game as well, and I just feel that adds to kind of help me in the position that I play.
Have you always, your leadership qualities, have they always been ingrained since when you were a child, or have you kind of developed those over your career?
Yeah, I think over my career, to be honest, I think when I was younger, if I could speak to my younger self now, I'd regret so much what I'd done and how I was as a young lad. And I think just growing up and so seeing the young lads now, I just don't want them to make the same mistakes that I made. That's why if you speak to Tommy Conway and Alex Scott, they'll probably find me extremely annoying at times when I'm constantly on them, but it's just like, I just want them to do well, and I don't want them to do things that I might have done. And if I can help them in any kind of way, I always say I don't ever blame the senior pros when I was playing, because I had great senior pros, boys like Lee McCulloch, Lee Wallace, but when I started playing for Rangers, it was in the 3rd division, and so all the players left, and it was kind of all the young boys that came through. So I was still in a very young changing room then when I started getting my chance, and I feel like I just needed older lads around to say, listen, come on, this is how you behave, this is how you train, you play, this is how you'll make a career in the game. And obviously that's for me to learn, and I have done as I've got older, but I feel it's definitely something I've developed just through my own experiences.
The regrets that you talked about, was that not perhaps putting all your effort in when you were younger coming through? Is that what you mean by? Yeah. I just turned up to training, thought I would be a professional footballer, trained, went home, kind of thought I knew better than coaches that I've seen since, and apologised to them. And not that I was ever a bad lad, I never had bad manners, never had none of that, but I just trained, went home, didn't give my all, and it kills me when I see lads doing it now, because I think you've got a mountain to climb. And luckily enough for me, I feel I've done it to some extent. I went right back down to Accrington and I've kind of built my way back up, but some lads don't do that. Some lads will just fall out the game and they don't realise the opportunity that they've got. So yeah, I just never took the opportunity I had. I was at Rangers, I had Murray Park facilities, incredible facilities, but I couldn't wait to get home and play the computer or do what other stuff that young boys do. It was just, I don't know. As I say, I regret a lot of things, but it got me to where I am now, and I'm happy. The dressing room atmosphere at the moment, how does that compare to what it was at Luton? Because so you can speak more on this, but was that the foundation of the playoff push, and how, I just want to know how it kind of compares between this dressing room and the one at Luton?
Yeah, the changing room's huge. I believe that's in the Championship, when you've not got a huge gulf in class between the teams, then it comes down to the camaraderie, the changing room. I believe in the Championship, the changing room is a huge part of it. I know that from the changing room I was in at Luton. I have friends at Huddersfield. They see the changing room. I don't see any teams that really do really well but say their changing room was bad, if you get me. So we've been massive on that this season since I've got here, speaking with Kingy and Matty James and Bents and Chrissy Martin, and let's get the changing room right. And I believe we've done that. It helps when you've got a squad full of good people. The young lads are brilliant, the senior boys are brilliant, the coaching staff are brilliant. So when I came here, I've said it in previous interviews, but I looked and I went, the changing room is very similar to Luton in that aspect, just really good lads that want to come in and work hard and get better, and I see a lot of similarities.
Hi Kal. Nigel spoke to the club earlier this week about the team collectively showing a bit more resilience more regularly, and he also described you as a leader. As one of the more experienced members of the group, how big a role do you feel you have in demanding that resilience of your peers when things aren't going your way exactly?
Yeah, I believe I have a huge role. It's not something I take lightly. As I say, I'm one of the older players, and as I've just spoke about there, from when I was younger, what I kind of wanted for the senior pros, what I think would have helped me in my career to give myself a better chance in my career. Not that it's their responsibility, but I do take a massive sense of responsibility in that I need to turn up for training every day in the right mindset. I need to train properly. I need to demand it in the right way and speak to them in the right way. I need to then, when it comes to a game day, I need to be fully on it. I can never be slacking. If I'm slacking, then whether it's Alex Scott or Tommy Conway or that thing, if me, Matty James and Kingy are off it, then they'll look and go, what's going on here? Then I just believe we've got a duty to them to help them. Then it's up to them to have a duty of decency to respect that, and then try and come along on that journey with us. And lucky enough, you heard Tommy Conway and Alex Scott speaking about it in a little documentary that the lads done about how big an influence Naki Wells is on them, and that's like who Tommy's playing up front with now. So if he's got him to look at and Naki Wells is one of the best pros I've played with, and for Tommy to learn off him is huge.
And with club captain Dan Bentley not featuring all that much of late, is it in the back of your mind at all about potential vice captaincy or captain inside on a more regular basis?
No, it's not. It's not something I think about. It's whether I'm captain or vice captain or not, I'll always be the same way. I'll always believe I've got that responsibility to turn up every match day 100%, to train through the week 100%, so that younger lads can see that and learn from that if they want to. And yeah, that's the way I'll always be. But as you say, you've mentioned names there: Dan Bentley, Andy Vyman, Matty James, Andy King. There's a lot of people in the squad that could wear the armband, and I believe it wouldn't change them. We'll still all be the same way.
And you've only been here several months, but Scott Murray is celebrating his 25 years of involvement with Bristol City. Meeting him as a fellow Scotsman, what's he like and what does he bring around the training ground?
Just a legend, and I know that word's used a lot, but legend in every sense of the matter. I've never seen Scotty play much. My agent played with him, funny enough, Lee Matthews, who they're really close. In the summer I was signing, it was Lee's wedding, so I met Scotty at the wedding, so I knew him briefly, and but Lee spoke incredibly highly of him, said how much a legend he is, and then coming here, just a good guy, very good person, and yeah, I think Bristol City have been lucky to have him for this long.
And just finally, on a busy period coming up, we see West Brom and Stoke this weekend, then West Brom. What does your Christmas look like, just personally?
Previously, it's been pretty much just football. Yeah, as it will be this Christmas. It's just football non-stop. My kids are a little bit older now, so they're starting to understand it a bit more. And then we've got a lot of family coming down. This is the first Christmas where my mum's coming down, my partner Lauren, her mum's coming down, and dad, and so the house is pretty packed. But yeah, just train as normal on Christmas, a little bit of Christmas dinner but not too much, and then get ready for the game. All the family will come to the game in Boxing Day against West Brom, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Excellent.
Thank you.